Hey guys, Tomboy601, and today we got a treat for you. We're using Sims in The Sims. Yeah, one of the worst destroyers with a battleship commander. Let's go ahead and see how this game rolls. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the build we did. We did have to modify his usual battleship inspirations. We went with Gurren just to kind of punch up the American AP a little bit more, and then we had Mordorf just to try to save our butts when it comes to fire rate on those guns, because even though it has somewhat quick fire rates, you need quicker because we only got 4 guns. It is really hard to keep up with any other destroyer output, and if we're gonna stand a chance, we're going to need a somewhat decent damage output. Base trait, this one kind of helps us a little just because, of course, we are using the tier 6 Sims. Therefore, we do get a little bit extra. We get almost 1,200 extra hit points to deal with, which isn't a small amount when you're using a destroyer that is as weak as the Sims. Skills, we have not one for the nuisance, which reduces the risk of catching fire and flooding. Then we have crisscross, which increases the main battery traverse speed. We didn't really need to help, but the other option only busts battleships, so we're only using things that we can at least use. Finally, we have marksmanship, which decreases the dispersion of the main battery. We have emergency specialist, which reduces the damage control party, consumable reload time, which does end up coming in handy. And finally, kind of what I thought would be the ace up our sleeve, but it never really ended up happening. I was able to use it once. Was will to rebuild, so we can heal the destroyer with its very low health. We can get up to 20% of it back. So we can go ahead and survive one extra salvo if we get all the way down to below 20%. It's a rough ship. Okay, so that's our commander build. And as you can see, we are on Tears of the Desert. We spawned mid, and you know what that means. We're gonna have to go to B and try to at least do a little bit of our destroyer duty and capture B. So that is just what we're gonna do. Kind of keeping the head on the swivel. We've been located. We know there's someone with twist and track nearby, which means we are about to have to deal with another destroyer. And let me tell you, without having Mordorf as the base commander, and getting that bonus 8% with some of his skills, just having the 4% we have him upgraded still makes it a very rough time engaging other ships, especially other destroyers, because as it is, Sims kind of gets out damaged by the majority of other destroyers. But hey, we are going to see what it is. We can tell there's already a ship in B, and we're going to go ahead and start contesting this area and see what we can do. No one really in range for us now. We don't want to go ahead and fire. We do have AP loaded, just because the thought being, if we can go ahead and penetrate, we may be able to not get overpens and do more damage with our AP, but it's not looking that way. Icarus pops up, and we're getting overpens on him, but also popping up is another Sims, and we know he is also at a strong disadvantage because he's in a Sims, because the Sims is a terrible ship. So we're gonna go ahead and concentrate on him, try to kind of retreat here. Icarus went and hid in his smoke. We know that's going to be a short smoke, so we're going to get out of the way. We see these torpedoes inbound, giving them a wide berth. We see our friendly destroyer off to our port side, just starting to itch around the island, and we know now that he's going to be the one that is going to start taking the attention of the Sims. So this is our time to strike. We know the Sims is going to be distracted, as we can see on the map, by our friendly destroyer. So it is now time to team up on the Sims, because if there's one thing the Sims can't really handle, it's multiple targets. Yes, it has really quick turret traverse speed, but it cannot really fire. We go ahead, first salvo, take him out. That's what we like to see. Icarus, he ended up fleeing the battle. He was like, nope, I'm not trying to contest B. I'm out of here. I think he saw the friendly Miyoko that was in the cap with us, and he realized it was not going to be his day. Easily, he probably could have taken us one-on-one, but at this point, we're going to go ahead, pop what shots we can, get back behind cover, because we are very much exposed in this open water. Go ahead and do some evasive maneuvers, because we know there's fire. There's fire going to be coming in. Helena, she ends up taking a couple of pot shots at us. Luckily, we were able to dodge. We pop down, and we're going to go ahead and take this first cap here. We do take a hit there, and it looked like we knocked out one of our guns, but I guess it didn't. Maybe it knocked out our secondaries, but we don't really have secondaries. That was a weird symbol right there. I don't know 100% what went on there. Anyways, we're about to go ahead and take B. Enemies are taking A, but we are kind of routing them there, and C is probably where we're going to go ahead and head next. Just because if you look at that side, they do have a substantial force over there. It looks like there's only really one battleship really backing them up. They do have a cruiser kind of firing in the cross lane that's getting some decent crossfires, but he is going to go ahead and probably need our help. Will to rebuild, sadly, gladly we haven't gotten down to the point where will to rebuild would have healed us there, but it does. We are close enough to go ahead and proc it there. But like I said, not much for us to do. We're going to go ahead, hit that speed boost, and get across. And let me tell you guys, trying to get a good game with the Sims while using a Sims is very difficult, just because those skills, like having a commander that tiers well, that works well with a ship, very important. Giving up all of them and just getting kind of random bonus traits, one, it takes me back to playing this game when I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Because let me tell you, Sims, I think he was one of my first ones. I was using him on everything. Oh, bonus HP, that signed me up, man. That's what I like to see. Anyways, this little game did kind of bring me back, trying to use a commander on something that's not supposed to be used. We can see one of the enemy destroyers is spotted out in the distance there, so we know at least there is one over there. Can't tell if it is the Icarus from earlier or someone else. Colorado is just a little bit outside range. We're going to take a couple of pot shots as we cross around here, because at this point, B is the only thing capped. We might as well do our due diligence and cap C as well. Try to be the team player. Try to get us scoring, because we're not a damaging ship. Really, we aren't at this point. At this point, it's all about playing the spotter, which we can't really do that well because of our massive detection radius, and playing the objectives. And in this case, the objective is capture the area. So that's just what we're going to do. Colorado starting to come on in, and now we have something interesting. We have another ship contesting the area. If we look, my gut tells me he's around the corner, but turns out he was just in that slither out there at the far end, and this is where we're going to have to start doing. It's that Icarus from earlier, and we are going to go to town with our HE. We know earlier AP wasn't the answer for the Icarus. We were overpenning. We weren't getting as much damage. We're getting solid hits out of the Icarus here. He goes ahead and uses his smoke, tries to start to hide, and we are down to below 4K. Pop him as he gets hit in the smoke. Now Akatsuki pops up. He is half health, and we have just a little bit less than him as far as total HP goes. So it is a race on. It is a duel in gunnery, and we are just going to be playing with that shifter. We are going to be dancing for our lives, because that's really what we're doing at this point, is just trying to survive. And we take one hit there. We can't really eat another salvo from him. So our gunnery is very important here, and we are just barely hitting the tail end of him. And we go ahead and knock him. He gets one more salvo into us, and we are down to 1,500 HP. And now we're going to go ahead and cap C. We've definitely cleared out every single destroyer. So now the only ships left are battleships, and we know where the battleships are. We can now easily avoid them. We do have the longer range torps on this version of The Sims, just because the short range suicide torps, as slightly more useful as they are, they're not useful when you don't have any concealment built in. Like, remember, because of the two inspirations, we didn't take Swirsky, we didn't take Bay, we don't have bonus concealment, nor does our commander offer us any concealment. So we have full detectability of a Sims, which isn't pretty. So those suicide torps are very much suicide torps at this point. There's a 2-kilometer difference between when we can fire those and when we will be spotted, and we will be spotted well before we are able to fire. Our team does end up taking all 3 of the caps. Go team. And we're going to go start racking up score. Colorado on our end ends up getting taken out, and now we are just going to go ahead and start, or actually no, Colorado turns around, tries to go towards his teammate. We're going to go ahead and steam towards our teammate, because the one thing we want to do, we want to go ahead and proc that wonderful will to rebuild. We want to use will to rebuild in the destroyer just to get a little bit of health back. Like, When is the last time you got to use will to rebuild in a destroyer? It was probably never, because let me tell you, it's a stupid idea. Only having 20% of 15,000 health back. Guess what? You're still going to be deleted in like one salvo. Like, you may be able to survive 2 salvos from an enemy destroyer. You're not going to survive a full salvo from any enemy teammate. But that ends the game right there. And look at this team result. We are on top. We took the top slot with a battleship commander in a destroyer, and that was the goal, and we did it. So guys, if you liked the video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.